Oh, hello. Welcome to my living room. And, well, when I say my living room, I mean our living room. And when I say our living room, I actually mean my wife's living room because she decorated it and made it look amazing. And before it was just an empty shell with almost nothing in it. So today we're going to be talking about return on investment because why wouldn't you want return on investment for your video? So one of the biggest things that you hear from people when you're in my position and you run a video company is, oh, video's really expensive. And they're right. And the reason why video is expensive is because it takes a long time to make. And the reason it takes a long time to make is because there's at least 3 different stages in making a video. There's the editing and the filming, as we all know, but the other stage, which people forget about a lot, and is equally, if not more important, is the planning stage. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the research process is valuable in itself and it can be reused in lots of different ways, as can some of the media that you create when you create the video. So in this video, we're going to look at 6 different ways that you can repurpose your video content into other types of media to get maximum reach, maximum return on investment. Okay, so to give this a little bit of context, it's really important to remember that people consume information and media in lots of different ways, across lots of different channels. And what makes it even more tricky is that all of those sites require different things. So an image might work better on Twitter, video might work better on LinkedIn, something else might work better on Facebook. So you've got to think about all of those different social channels. But then you've got your media, you've got your rich media that you can use in lots of different ways. So whilst it might feel that you're flooding the internet with all this information that's repeating over and over again, you're actually not, because firstly, we're going to change the format, and secondly, each of those media channels, each of those social media channels is only showing a small proportion of your audience each post. And thirdly, it doesn't really matter if someone sees the same idea again. Quite often people are in a hurry, they're not paying attention the first time, and if you think about it, when you see a video for a second or third time on social media, you don't begrudge the person who's posted it, you just skip over it and on to the next thing. Okay, so number 1, and we've talked about this before, we're going to transcribe that video into a blog post. So you can get a service like rev.com to transcribe that audio really cheaply, really quickly. You can use Google Voice Assistant these days for a pretty good approximation of the same thing, and then turn that into a blog post. Go through it, don't just put up the bare text that you've transcribed as a big block. Take some of the colloquialisms and the sort of talkative language out of it, tidy it up a bit, put some paragraphs in, make sure the punctuation's all right, get some images in there, turn it into a blog post. Second up, now that we've got that text, we can start to look at things like quotes. We can take some of the sentences out of it that mean things, some of the condensed ideas, and turn them into quotes and use those as Twitter images. So you could create something in Canva that maybe has a little bit of a background to it or a photograph, and you could put a quote from that over the top of it. Then what you can do is use that on social media to direct your audience back to the blog post or the video that you've created. So you can put a link in at the bottom that says, read more about this, and then direct them away. Number 3, if you have a podcast, strip out the audio. Even if you don't have a podcast, maybe you can strip out the audio and give it to someone who has got a podcast. Number 4, you can create adverts and short clips from a longer video. So this is particularly useful if you're looking to promote the video on social media out through channels like Instagram or some of the channels, or Twitter even, where some of the channels require shorter format, and also where you know people have got less time or less patience. You could make a 10-second clip or a 20-second short advert, and then use that to promote a longer video. So a longer video like this, particularly if it's over 10 minutes, you're going to find it really hard to get any kind of real traction from that on social media because people haven't really got the time to watch it. They're generally snacking on content. They're in between coffee breaks, or in between coffee breaks? They're in between meetings, having a coffee break. They're in a meeting, not paying attention to the meeting, looking at their mobile phones. They're not going to watch 10 minutes of video. They might do on YouTube. The rules on YouTube are slightly different, but social media channels unlikely. Take a small snip, take a few clips out of it, re-edit it maybe, make it shorter, repurpose it, use it as an advert essentially to drive towards the longer video. Number 5. If you've got some nice visual content in there, if you've got shots maybe of your office or the location where you're set, or some beautiful hills or something in the background, you can use some of that media on your website. So you can use it on the background of your homepage, you can repurpose it as still images that you can use across your site. You can take moments from that video and use it as part of your branding and as part of the feel to keep things consistent and congruent across your site and across your social media channels. Number 6. Finally, you can use it as a living, breathing FAQ. If the kind of video content you're doing is built to help people, if you're using it for content marketing, if you're understanding what your customers' needs and struggles are, use that content across your site, not just on social media, but across your site as a living, breathing FAQ. How much more engaging is it going to be if a customer goes to a page to find out an answer for something and they see a video where you're telling them specifically about that thing, rather than having to wade through heaps and heaps of text. And that's it. I'm out of ideas. That's your lot. Unless you've got an idea that I haven't thought about, in which case there's a comments box down there. Use it. But for now, that's all for me. My name's David Kilkelly. See you next time. Toodle pip. Did I just say toodle pip? I just said toodle pip. I just said toodle pip.